we are going to do the peritoneal reflection on the liver. So first, this is the diaphragm. We are looking at the anterior approach of the liver. This is the diaphragm, and below this here is the liver. This is the right lobe of liver, and this is the left lobe of liver. The peritoneum will be reflected from the diaphragm and from the anterior abdominal wall on the liver. There will be two folds of peritoneum coming from the diaphragm and coming from the anterior abdominal wall like this, and they will be coming on the liver like this. So this is the peritoneum coming from the diaphragm, and when the two folds will meet on the anterior surface of the liver, they will form the falciform ligament. The falciform ligament will be somewhat like this. Its direction will be like this. Okay. This is the reflection of peritoneum on the liver anteriorly. The rest of the liver is completely covered by peritoneum. Anterior. This is the anterior approach. Two layers of peritoneum will first come from the anterior abdominal wall, then they will come from the diaphragm, and they will reach the anterior surface of liver, then they will be spread on the anterior surface of liver. In this way, a falciform ligament is formed between the anterior abdominal wall, the diaphragm, and the liver. Now we will see the posterior approach, how the peritoneum is reflected on the posterior surface of liver. Now this is the same diaphragm on this side. Liver, obviously we are looking from the posterior side, so the left lobe will come on this side and the right lobe will come on this side. This is the liver, this is the right lobe, the notch, and this is the left lobe of liver. So diaphragm will be, the peritoneum will be reflected in a different way on the posterior side of the liver. This is the falciform ligament which is coming from the anterior side. This is the falciform ligament. Now this is the portion which we are looking from the back side. This is the falciform ligament which was coming from the anterior side. When it comes here, there is a reflection of peritoneum like this, and this from the left triangular ligament. These areas are covered by peritoneum, and this is the bare area of liver. Then this layer of falciform ligament, this will go towards the right. It will come down, and it will enclose another bare area like this. So this is the left triangular ligament, this is the right triangular ligament, and these two free margins of peritoneum, they are called the coronary ligaments. And this area is not covered by peritoneum, this is in direct relation with the diaphragm. This is called the bare area of liver. Somewhere over here is the inferior vena cava. Then the peritoneum is reflected downwards like this, and it encloses a space. This is called the porta hepatis, which is basically the hilum of the liver, in which the portal artery, bile duct, and portal vein, hepatic artery, and bile duct will enter and leave through this hilum. So the hilum of the liver is called the porta hepatis, through which three things are passing. One is the portal artery, the portal vein, bile duct, and the third is hepatic artery. These three structures are called portal triangle. Awesome. Now this was the anterior approach, this was the posterior approach. Now we will see how these reflections are seen from the superior surface of liver. So this is the superior surface of liver, this is the posterior, and this is the anterior surface of liver. So in this we have removed the diaphragm, and we are looking at the liver from the superior aspect. This is the inferior vena cava which we have seen over here. Now we will see how the peritoneum is reflected here, and it will become very clear how it is reflected on the anterior and posterior surface. Look at this. This is the falciform ligament. We will show it over here. This is the falciform ligament. Anterior approach. This falciform ligament towards the left, it goes like this, and this forms the left triangular ligament. This surface of the liver is completely covered by peritoneum. These surfaces are completely covered by peritoneum. This is the bare area. Now this is the falciform ligament. This will form the left triangular ligament, and it will move towards this side. I am showing this thing towards this side, and it will move downwards. So this forms the superior layer of coronary ligament. This is the inferior layer, and this margin, this corner where the triangle is being formed, this is called the right triangular ligament. This is the liver. This which you are seeing, the surface which you are seeing, this is the anterior surface of liver, as you are seeing over here. This is the posterior surface, yeah. And you can see the posterior surface over here like this. This is the gallbladder, and gallbladder somewhere over here. This is the gallbladder, and this is the superior surface of liver which you are seeing here. Now we will start from the anterior surface. Peritoneum from the anterior abdominal wall and the diaphragm. They cover the liver completely from this side and from this side, and a fold is reflected like this. This is called the falciform ligament, which I have shown here. This is the falciform ligament. Now we go towards the posterior side. This is the inferior vena cava. This opening, this is the inferior vena cava, which I have shown here. This is the inferior vena cava. This is the superior margin of coronary ligament. This thing. This is the superior margin of coronary ligament, which you can see here. And this is the inferior margin of coronary ligament, this one, which you can see here. And this is the right triangular ligament. This corner is the right triangular ligament, which you can see here. Now if we come here, this is the falciform ligament, and here it is reflected like this. So this becomes the left triangular ligament, which you can see here. So these are the reflections of peritoneum on the surface of liver. This is the abdomen which is opened. We have opened the peritoneum and the anterior abdominal wall. What you can see, this whole cavity which you can see is the greater sac. The lesser sac is lying behind this structure, which is called the stomach. Behind this is the lesser sac. From the stomach we have removed the greater omentum, and my hand can easily pass back into the lesser sac. So this is the lesser sac. This whole surface is the greater sac. This whole cavity is the greater sac, which you can see. Now the peritoneal cavity is divided into compartments by mesenteries. First of all, you see this structure. This is called the transverse colon, and behind the transverse colon, if I reflect the stomach, you can see this mesentery, which is the mesentery of the transverse colon. It is called the transverse mesocolon. This transverse mesocolon will divide the whole peritoneal cavity into a supracolic, above the colon, supracolic compartment, and an infracolic compartment. The infracolic compartment is further divided by the mesentery of small intestine, this thing, into left and into right compartments. So this mesentery of the small intestine is the root of mesentery you have already seen. It is dividing the abdominal cavity, the infracolic compartment, into left and the right compartments. Now